In this question, you are asked to prove the identity and then show that integrate 0 to pi over 4 cosine phi theta over cosine theta d theta is pi over 4 minus 1. We will first prove the identity. And there's a cosine term here, right? So you can actually expand it out as 2 cosine 4 theta cosine theta minus 2 cosine 2 theta cosine theta and plus cosine theta. And after that, we shall use identity to change it. We'll be using this one. We have cosine A, cosine B, cosine A times cosine B. We can write it as half cosine A plus B, cosine A minus B. For this identity, usually you take A to be more than B. So the A minus B is positive. So that you can avoid negative angle. And for the purpose of this question, you can actually multiply the 2 over and say that 2 cosine A cosine B is cosine A plus B plus cosine A minus B. Since we have 2 in front, since you have 2 in front, so which means you just take A as 4 theta, B as theta. For the first expression, 2 cosine 4 theta cosine theta. As for the second one, 2 cosine theta, 2 cosine 2 theta cosine theta. You'll be using the identity again. And this time you should be taking A as 2 theta, B as theta. Okay, so let's work it out. So which means you should have cosine 4 theta plus theta plus cosine 4 theta minus theta. Okay. Is cosine A plus B cosine A minus B. As for the second expression, you should have cosine 2 theta plus theta, 2 theta plus theta. Then plus cosine 2 theta minus theta. And finally, the cosine theta is just give it there. So with that, you see that actually you should have cosine 5 theta plus cosine 3 theta from these two terms. And from these two terms, it will be minus bracket cosine 3 theta plus cosine theta. And then plus another cosine theta. So with that, you should have cosine 5 theta plus cosine 3 theta minus cosine 3 theta minus cosine theta plus cosine theta. This cosine theta is just copied down here, right? So with that, you'll find that cosine 3 theta cancel, minus cosine theta cancel, so you're left with cosine 5 theta, which is the right hand side you want to show. So that's how you show the identity, prove the identity. After showing the identity, we shall now show that integrate 0 to pi over 4 cosine phi theta over theta is pi over 4 minus 1. you should be using the identity. So what you can do is you just divide by cosine theta. So you can say divide by cosine theta on both sides. So divide by cosine theta to the right hand side. You just divide this to the right hand side, which means you can say cosine phi theta over cosine theta is just 2 cosine 4 theta minus 2 cosine 2 theta plus 1. So which means this will be same as integrating 0 to pi over 4 2 cosine 4 theta minus 2 cosine 2 theta plus 1 d theta. So it's actually 2 sine 4 theta over 4. Integrate cosine give you sine. And because it's 4 theta, you divide by 4. And this will be 2 sine 2 theta divided by 2. And plus theta. And then you sub in the lower and upper limit 0 and pi over 4. So you can cancel to give you half. So this cancel will give you half. This two will cancel. So it should be half sine. You sub in pi over 4, right? So you sub in pi over 4 will be 4 bracket pi over 4 minus sine 2 bracket pi over 4 and plus pi over 4, then minus half sine 0 minus sine 0 plus 0. Sine of 0 is 0. So everything is 0 here. Here it should give you half sine pi minus sine pi over 2 and plus pi over 4. And you should take note, sine pi is 0 and sine pi over 2 is 1. So this term will give you minus 1 with the minus sign. This term gives you 0. So it gives you pi over 4 minus 1. So it gives you pi over 4 minus 1, which is what you will show. So that's how you show this integration, this integral 0 to pi over 4 cosine phi theta over cosine theta is d theta is pi over 4 minus 1.